Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255.
New year, new show. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And this year, we're moving to Monday night with brand new exciting guests and engaging literary conversation. And we want our listening audience to be there with us because this is going to be a year you will not forget. Catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m., right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. And you can also reach us on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page, the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. So catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. See you there.
The New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255.
Hi, State Representative Rodney Lyons from District 87, and you're tuned into Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions.
Now New Orleans has a choice. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app for your mobile device or listen at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I am back. It is a new and as you
I'm going to talk about a couple of things. One thing I want to talk about are some easy ways to clean up your writing.
Oh, okay.
I think it's important that you learn the mechanics of writing. A lot of people, your writing, it becomes crisper. It becomes
to tell your reader how they should feel. They should just feel
They
it.
should feel it.
It's like when you're watching on the West Bank at 11 shop, and as I said, Brian is going to.
I'll root for Russell.
You'll root for Russell?
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of my friends in Seattle said he's going to send me a jersey.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So if they win or even make it, you got to put it on.
Absolutely.
All right.
Even though I will say that I would love to see the Ravens and the Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
okay.
I mean, the Saints not there, so I guess that's
Exactly.
fine.
I mean,
Right.
of course, my first option is always going to be
Of course.
the Saints.
Of course.
But if I have to choose, I would love to see the Ravens and the Seahawks. And Brian, let me know if I'm wrong. Have we ever had two black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl?
No, never.
Absolutely. See what that would be?
Awesome. That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
So I try to look at
That'll be awesome.
the silver lining of things, you know?
Okay. I'm cool
I
with
need
that.
some time. He's still working on me. Give me about a week, and I'm going to find that still good.
I hear you. But let's talk about more cheerful things. Brian, how did you get into this writing game?
No, that we just went from bad to worse because
Oh,
how
really?
I got to this game was nothing cheerful about it. I am one of these brothers who, after 18 years of raising a child, found out that he wasn't the biological father.
Wow.
So I wrote a book.
Mm.
I wrote a book based loosely on my life. I tossed the word loosely in there. And names changed to protect the innocent. And I wrote a book. And the book did well. The book took off. So I took that money and flipped it. Opened a publishing company, Holly Grove Publishing.
Yes.
And started publishing books by other authors. And That's how I got started. I've since closed Holly Grove Publishing. I closed Holly Grove Publishing during the recession. During the recession, actually, um, books weren't selling. Industries across this nation were down,
Right.
and publishing industry was no different. Just like the big boys started letting people out of contracts, so did I. Um, but that's how I got started. Writing a book was cathartic. Um, it helped me deal with the pain of all that I went through, and before you know it, I got laid off from my job in 2010, and I just never went back to work for anybody.
That's awesome.
Right. And right now, career's taking off. You
I
don't
mean,
really
right
have to
now,
go back.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah, I mean, right now I'm an adjunct professor at a couple of colleges, but other than that, I'm a full-time writer.
And a full-time parent because I see your Facebook posts.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for my kids, man. Um, and now now I got a grandchild, so I ain't no good. I mean,
Yeah, pop pop.
pop pop, yeah, call him pop pop.
That is so sweet.
Yeah,
So, Tim, did you
yeah,
always have an interest
I'm
in
putty.
writing? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm putty in her hands. As far as prior to that, I never considered writing. I was doing the corporate America thing. Most of the books in my home library were business related books.
Mm.
You know, Think and Grow Rich. A lot of What Makes the Great Great, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Everything on my shelf was pretty much business related. How could I get to the CEO chair?
Yes.
I went to school. My degrees are in business. I have a degree in a bachelor's of business, MBA, and another degree. My education was all centered around being a businessman. And then when the situation went down, I had just so happens I had just finished my MBA. So upon completing my first book, I was still in student mode. So I started researching the publishing industry, started crunching the numbers, and decided, shit, I can make more money if I open. And then you got to also understand, I don't have to explain this to you all. Y'all from New Orleans. I mean, we from the home of cash money and no limit and this and that.
Absolutely.
So I I was bred to be an entrepreneur. But I didn't seek my first literary agent until my seventh or eighth book. You know what I'm saying? I really more producing and publishing my own books.
Right.
So that's what I did. I got a distribution deal, and basically I was the literary version of Cash Money Records. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right. But now we don't want people to
So
think that it's that easy. What do you think was the secret to you being able to come out the blocks? Because it sounds like you came out the blocks being successful. Your first book did well. You took that money and reinvested, started a company, and people started coming to you to publish their books. What was it that was the secret to your success, so to speak?
I pray and I grind and I learn the craft. Um, a lot of people are interested in being a success at this, but they're not really committed. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So when other people on Friday nights were getting turned up, you could find me in the lab working 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, not only writing books, but once again, I still had that business background. When I came into this business, I would always tell people I'm a businessman who happens to write, not a writer who owns a business. So my entire frame of mind was about how can I make this profitable. I'm not just going to write books for the love of it.
Yes.
If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So when I set out, um, yeah, I crunched the numbers. When I learned what the average royalty rate was for an author, I was like 7 cent, 7%. Man, you crazy. Like I could produce this book myself and keep 70% of the profit. Yes, I'm gonna have to work harder, but I'm a natural born hustler anyway. I can sell
Yes.
water to a well. You give me long enough. You know what I'm saying? Give me enough time. I sell water to a well. The only thing I needed to do was understand the the business side of the house, and um, my educational background, having an MBA, it really helped me segue into this because there's some principles that transcend industry. Price, place, product, promotion, the four P's of marketing. I don't care what you're selling, it's applicable. I understood how to run a business. I didn't understand the publishing industry. So I just would spend hours upon hours inside of the library and Barnes and Noble reading books and on the internet just studying the publishing industry. And I also went out and I bought Dan Poynter's The Self-Publishing Manual. So anybody out there that's listening that's a self-published author, if you don't have this on your shelf, then you will always be writing for someone else. You sure ain't gonna be writing to earn a profit. The Dan
Mm.
Pointers, Dan is a book by Dan Poynter, Poynter,
Yes.
called The Self-Publishing Manual. Between my own research and studying that book, I opened a publishing house and started publishing other people's work. And it wasn't easy, but nothing worthwhile is, Rhonda. So I just simply rolled up my sleeves and I was determined that I was going to be the master P of publishing. You know,
I love it. I love that. And you did it. And
yeah,
I'm
everything worked
guessing that
out.
you're not done.
Well, it's interesting how things worked out because what ended up happening was I was about 7 books in, and I was doing well, but I was curious to know what my worth would be out on the open market. So by the time I got my book deal, Simon and Schuster ended up buying a book. Well, let me back up. I wrote a book called Nina's Got a Secret, and that book landed on the Dallas Morning News bestseller list, and it landed in Oprah magazine, in O magazine, and What to Read. So I decided to take the steam. Well, let me back up. After I wrote that book, the book did well, sold a lot of copies, made my money back, and then some. And then I kept it moving. So I decided somewhere around book 7 that I wanted to find me a literary agent. And it just so happens I remember I was at Atlanta at the National Book Club conference and I was speaking, and there happened to be an agent in the audience. And that agent had read Nina's Got a Secret and
Mm.
approached me. And to make a long story short, that agent actually pitched Nina's Got a Secret to Straber Simon and Schuster 4 years after the book had already been released, and they bought the rights to it.
Wow.
And they wrote me a check, and they basically resuscitated a 4-year-old book. And because I already had 7, 8 books in my catalog at the time, I just basically let them have it. And yeah, that's how I got my first book deal. I still had my publishing company, and so basically I was both an independent and signed to a major at the same time.
Wow. Well, what I like that you said is that you're you had a lot of success, but you're not making it sound like sometimes people will come on here and they'll say how they did well doing this and they hit it right out the park right after the first try. But you actually showed that you studied the craft before you jumped in there. You
I
may not
studied
have
the I
known
studied I
everything
studied
that
the
you.
business.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I studied the business. I studied the
Yes.
business of publishing.
And that's what we should be doing. Study the business. And then sometimes we think that okay, we've written one book. Okay, now I think I know what to do. I'm gonna publish other people's books now so I can make some money.
No, it ain't that easy. I learned some hard lessons. I learned one of the biggest lessons I learned running a publishing house is that you have a lot of talented writers out there, but you have some people who couldn't sell cotton candy to a group of 5-year-olds. And what
Yes.
I learned real quickly in this business is that I'd rather have an author that had B level skills and an A level hustle than have an author that's an A level writer but can't hustle.
Absolutely.
Because I ran a full fledged publishing house, which meant that I was sponsoring books.
And but you know your audience, so you should be doing that. But
You
we're
know
going.
what? A lot of authors have this misconception that when you get a book deal, you ain't got to do. Them publishing houses
Right.
don't do nothing for you. They don't
Right.
do. If you didn't know how to sell a book, and this is such a catch 22 because on one hand you want to get the book deal so that they can cover all of the heavy expenses. But the
Right.
fact of the matter is that if you don't get out and sell the book, then your contract will not get renewed.
Absolutely.
So
But
it would behoove you to know how to sell a book even before you get the book deal, because you're gonna have to sell it once you get the book deal.
absolutely. Now, Brad, we have to take a quick break. And when we get back, we're
Hmm.
going to get to know Keish as well. And then we're going to jump a little bit
Okay.
more into actually marketing because I like where we're going with this conversation. So we will be right back. We're on the phone with author Brian W. Smith, and we have in the studio author Kesh Nicole. And we're talking about publishing. We're talking about Black History Month Literary Weekend. We're having a good time. There's some jewels being dropped. So y'all stay with us so you can catch some more of these jewels. We'll be right back.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
New year, new show. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And this year, we're moving to Monday night with brand new, exciting guests and engaging literary conversation. And we want our listening audience to be there with us because this is going to be a year you will not forget. Catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m., right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. And you can also reach us on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page, the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. So catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. See you there. Yeah. And we're back. So we just finished having a great conversation with author Brian W. Smith, and he's still on the line. But right now we want to turn our attention over to author Kesh Nicole. And I'd like to hear your story. How did you get into this writing game?
Well, I've been writing since I was 8.
Wow.
I did a short story in elementary for my second grade teacher, and my mom was so impressed.
Moms, I love moms like that.
And then from there, I did poetry as a teenager, just as a way of like expression.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I never would have imagined writing a full novel, though it just was something that I was doing on the side. In 2017, I dealt really bad with depression, and after losing a cousin suddenly, my writing was my outlet to just express myself, and I started writing Every Goodbye and Always Forever in August, and 2 weeks later, I had a full novel.
You wrote a full novel in 2
In
weeks?
2 weeks, yes.
You were doing a lot of writing.
I was always writing. I was writing at work. I was writing while I'm cooking the dinner.
See, talk to your husband. You already said you don't cook. And now you're writing while you're supposed to be cooking the man's food.
Right.
He ate.
You hear this,
Right
Brian?
now.
Brian, leave me alone.
I just want to say this. I was about to hit it with that line from Martin, like they used to tell Tommy, "You ain't got no job."
I wrote at work. My administrators know that I was writing while I was at work. They're okay with it. Yeah, so that was that. And 2 years later, I'm 7 books in, with my 8th book coming out early part of this year.
And I know you say you write urban fiction. First of all, why did you decide to pursue that particular genre?
I did urban fiction because as a teenager, that was the genre that pulled me in. Growing up, I read a series by Deja King. She's my favorite author. I really love her. and all of her books are urban fiction novels. So it was the one that like I gravitated to, and I connected to it. Being from New Orleans, you see a lot, you hear a lot. Urban fiction is kind of that platform that allows for that. I've recently begun to kind of dive into romance books a little bit more. But yeah, we gonna work on that. I've done an urban romance. So it's a mixture of both. It's a hard love story, but it has still a lot of urban aspects in it, which really it
I'm excited because you will actually be our first urban fiction author to be a part of the Black History Literary Week.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. That's awesome. Look at that.
No, I mean, here's the thing about urban fiction. A lot of times it gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
And the reason why it gets a bad rap is part of what Brian was talking about earlier. People are cranking these books out.
That is the
They want to tell their story. They want to put all the grit and grime and everything in it, but they don't always take time to write it well. And a well-written urban fiction story can be powerful.
It can. It definitely can. That is the case with urban fiction. Our genre gets like the backlash because it's that genre that everybody kind of feels like I can do this.
Right.
And granted, everybody has a story. We all have history. We all have something that we've experienced. At the end of the day, a really good author is still able to captivate you and bring you in and lock you in into the story. And that's kind of where I feel like I'm set apart. I am able to don't get me wrong, my stories are like kind of far-fetched sometimes and they plot twist and drama filled, but each of them have a really good message. And I think that's very important. Even though it's an urban fiction novel, it still has a message behind it.
Well, my only attempt at an urban fiction novel is the play that y'all gonna see on the 29th.
I want to check that out. I wanted to get it from you, though. When I saw it on Facebook, I said, I'm going to just wait and get it from you.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to write one, but I also wanted to write something where I could talk about sexual assault. I used to be a sexual assault victims advocate. Gotcha. And I knew what the young ladies who I was working with were going through. Right. So I took some of those experiences and made them into a book. Okay. Is that how you come up with some of your plots?
Yes. The story that I'm actually working on now that I'm getting ready to release has a background of a young lady who was molested by a family member. And so although urban fiction or fiction rather, it's a story that everybody they come across in some shape or form. You may have a friend, a relative, it happens. So in that story, I detail some of the emotions that she felt or some of the things that she experienced to overcome that, but also adding a very interesting plot twist into it. There's a love interest that she has who, he has a situation with a family member as well in his own way. So it will tell a story, it will tell a detailed story, but yes, I do pull real life situations to create my stories.
Okay. Now, do you just sometimes have to decompress after you've written?
Yes. Yes.
Because sometimes it can be very emotional.
Yes. Just shut it all the way down and just kind of take a mental break and just focus on something else for a while. Just especially when you write a book in a month or so, you need a minute.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're writing them so quickly.
Yeah, and then I gotta give myself time to think of something else to, come up with.
and you have how many books? 7 books.
7.
How do you, with writing so many books in such a short amount of time, how do you make sure that one doesn't sound like the other?
Well, I have my sister does she assists me with my editing and reading through them to make sure like everything flows. And I have a group of test readers who are like very close to me. Some of my friends, I just kind of send them out, and so they've read all of the stories before they even hit the shelves. So they kind of let me know like, hey, this may need to be changed or this doesn't line up with it or whatever the case.
So you have a lot of beta readers in your corner.
Yes, I do. Yes.
And beta readers are very important.
They
sometimes we thinking like, we about to kill them with this one.
Right.
Kill them.
And then they sit me down and be like, no, sis, not that one.
I mean, I've done that sometimes. I just started using beta readers, and I was like, sometimes I'll have them read something, and they'll come back and like, well, I didn't understand such and such. And then me being so close to my writing, I'm sitting there looking at the feedback like, how could you not understand that?
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about.
I do that to my sister all the time. always upset
Yeah.
with me. Like, that doesn't make sense and the people are not going to understand it. Well, listen.
Right. And what I had to realize, though, is that I'm not going to be able to stand over the shoulder of every person
reader.
who reads my book.
So you have to make it where they all can understand what you're trying to say.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So you said you're working on your 8th book now.
Yes.
Oh, my.
Yes.
And that's going to be out next month?
I'm shooting for next month, but I'm not going to push it. So it's not a guarantee. For all my readers that's watching this, it is not a guarantee. Don't hold me to that. But I am trying. My birthday is on the 22nd of February, and I'm shooting for a February release. But it's not a guarantee.
Okay. So the books that you're bringing to Black History Month Literary Weekend are...
Every Goodbye Ain't Always Forever, Parts 1 and 2. It's a completed series. A Family Affair, Beautiful Symphony, which both of those are standalones, and Broken Empire is a 3-part trilogy.
That's a lot of books.
I'm going to have whatever y'all want.
Yeah, she said she's not coming to play with y'all. She's giving you a choice.
Giving you whatever you want. I have books that was like the setting is here. I have books with the setting being in Miami, Atlanta, whatever you want. Love, drama, plot twist, killings. I have it all.
I was just going to ask you if New Orleans was the backdrop for all of your books.
Just so far, Every Goodbye Ain't Always Forever.
Right. Now, Brian, you made New Orleans the backdrop for a lot of your books, haven't you?
Yeah, primarily the Sleepy Call the Mystery series that I write.
Yeah.
But I've lived for a long time in 3 different places. That's New Orleans, Dallas, and Atlanta. So I believe it's easiest to write what you know.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Since I know all three of those cities pretty much like the back of my hand, it's easier and faster to write with those cities as the backdrop.
I agree. When I wrote my Every Goodbye Ain't Always Forever, with it being centered in New Orleans, it was much easier for me to write than the settings that was other places because you have to do much more research and you know things of that nature. So I totally agree.
I'm glad you said research because it goes through me when I'm reading something and it's the backdrop is something that I'm very familiar with, and it's very obvious that the author is not familiar with it. So I'm glad that you do that research.
I do. I try to search some things, some points, places, like major hotels in those areas when I'm putting a book in those locations, just to kind of give the readers that's in those locations something to be like, oh yeah, that actually is here.
Yes. Okay, well, we're going to take our last break. I can't believe how fast this hour is going by.
I know.
Yeah, but we're going to take our last break. And then I do want to find out about Brian's book, Missing, which he will have at the Black History Month Literary Weekend. And then find out a little bit more about your newest book as well. And then we're going to give you more information about Black History Month Literary Weekend. And it's going to be all good. So in the meantime, do as I ask you to do all the time. I want you to share this. I want you to like this show. I want you to share the show, comment, and I want you to also subscribe. And one more thing, since it's Black History Month Literary Weekend, I also want you to get a ticket to the jazz brunch or the play or both, because we do have a combo ticket.
Yes.
So we'll give you more information about that when we get back. I'm your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson. This is Kesh Nicole, and I have Brian W. Smith on the line. We'll be right back. It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And this year, we're moving to Monday night with brand new exciting guests and engaging literary conversation. And we want our listening audience to be there with us because this is going to be a year you will not forget. Catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m., right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. And you can also reach us on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page, the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. So catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. See you there.
The New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. The New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile.
And we're back. We just came back from the last break of the hour. I cannot believe this hour goes by so quickly. So I do want to give our authors a chance to talk about the work that they're going to be bringing to the weekend next month. We'll start with Brian. Now, you're bringing Missing. Is that correct?
That's right, Missing. The book that I wrote, it came out a couple of months ago, back in this summer, like July, August time frame. And I'll be bringing Missing. So Missing is a book about it's about a child that comes up missing. This woman is being abused by her boyfriend. He hits her one too many times, and she's 3 months pregnant at the time. So she has him arrested, and because he already has a long rap sheet, he ended up doing 4 years in prison. So while he was in prison for this domestic abuse charge, she saw it as her opportunity to leave town. Fast forward 3 years, he gets out of prison, and he's not only looking for her, but he's looking for his baby. But 3 years have passed. She no longer lives in Atlanta. She now lives in Dallas, and she's about to get married to a police officer who has a hot head. And her baby daddy has a hot head. So when they come together, all hell breaks loose.
I was about to say, that sounds like fireworks. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
And I've been meaning to jump into these Sleepy Carters too, because I'm into mystery. I love mystery books.
Okay.
Yeah. So you gonna bring any of your mystery novels with you?
You know what? I don't have them in print. Sleepy Carter is one. Yeah, Sleepy Carter is one of those business decisions. I told you, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Yeah.
And as much as I love writing Sleepy Carter, because it's about a detective from the NO, and every book in the series is named after something uniquely New Orleans. The most recent book came out a month ago. It's called Coffee, Beignets, and Murder. So I love writing a book. It's my literary baby. But my mystery novels sell the least of everything in my catalog. So I only put the Sleepy Carter mysteries out in ebook form.
Do you think it's because of the street fiction craze or the erotica craze, or because sometimes we have a certain segment that only wants a certain type of book?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say that. I mean, I don't write street lit, but a lot of my buddies are, a lot of my friends are street. Kawan is one of that's my partner. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, Kawan and I might be doing a book together. We've been tossing around some stuff, so be on the lookout for that coming soon. So, I mean, I think it has less to do with street lit or erotica, and more to do with the fact that as a whole, the mystery genre is the least read genre by African Americans.
Yeah.
Outside of Walter Mosley, can you name another mystery writer, black mystery writer? It was one of the reasons why I decided to go that route, because to be honest with you, I like to play in where everybody else has abandoned. You know what I'm saying? So since I didn't see any of the black mystery writers out there, at least real popular ones outside of Walter Mosley, I said, well, hell, that's where I need to be writing, because that's where the money's at. If everybody else is over here, I want to go over there. It's just the way my mind works.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is that the mystery genre, I don't know the numbers to be exact, but I would imagine, I would venture to say that 90% of mystery readers are non-black. So
I think he's
it has
right.
been
Yeah.
That's true.
it has
Yeah.
been hard. It has been hard out of all the genres, and I think that has a lot to do with it. And then you know, it's just been a challenge, but that's okay because I have so many other books in my catalog,
Absolutely.
and I'm mainly a contemporary fiction writer. This is like my side venture. I can afford to let this just marinate and grow. I'm not pressed to try to, hurry up. So when the audience grows, I'll start producing the Sleepy Carter books in paperback.
Okay, well, that's all right. I'll just read them on ebook form because I have a Kindle. I told y'all I have a Kindle and I have a Nook. Nah.
You good.
Yeah,
All right.
So what books are you
but yeah,
bringing?
so
I'm gonna be bringing Everybody and Always Forever. It's a completed series. It's a story of a young girl who leaves New Orleans and moves to Florida. She's gone for about 6 years and then she returns. And when she returns, she leaves behind her ex boyfriend who is trouble.
Mm.
Yeah, he's a lot of trouble. And when she returns, she finds out that he's kind of taken over the city as like one of the biggest kingpins, or
Yes.
what have you. And she falls in love with a new guy, but this ex has a host of individuals that they all come back to her in some shape or form. They are all involved in her life, and drama begins. The new boyfriend causes the ex, they butt heads, and things happen.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to read your book and Brian's book. These kind of go together.
Yeah, they kind of do. They do.
Yeah.
Also gonna have A Family Affair with Me. It's a story of twin brothers, Kingston and Langston.
Mm-hmm.
It takes place in Atlanta. Langston is a lawyer, and Kingston just so happens to be a really big drug pen there, and but he's kind of behind the scenes because you can't have a brother that's a lawyer
Right.
and do those illegal activities.
Right,
So
right.
he Langston falls in love with a young lady who uh comes between the wedge of the brotherhood that they have. They lost their parents in a house fire when they were younger, and so they were all that they had. And then this outside source comes in and affects that bond, and so they have to determine if they're going to ride for one another or if they're going to turn their backs on each other. Ultimately, um, it ends very suddenly. My readers, that's my favorite story, just to put that out there. As the author, that one's my favorite. It kind of leaves you wanting more, but everybody's mad with me with the way that it ends, just because
you always gonna have people mad at
it
you.
was
That's
so awesome.
A mark of a good book.
It was so awesome. It was dope. I also have A Beautiful Symphony. That's my urban romance. It's a story of a wife who has been married for 10 years, and she supported all of her husband's dreams and goals, and he did not return that. She begins working as a teacher and falls in love with her supervisor.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one's really juicy too.
Okay, I mean, it sounds like you have a lot to offer, so I'm looking forward to this. Can you tell people, for those who are not going to be in New Orleans for the literary weekend, and I can't imagine why you wouldn't just fly in, but if they
it's
can
Mardi
make
Gras
it,
week.
yeah,
So
it is
it's
Mardi
the week
Gras
of Mardi
week.
Gras.
Yeah.
It's that weekend. Just stay a little while longer.
There
That's
you
all.
go. There you go. But
that's
now,
what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do.
see,
Just stay a little while longer.
So, tell us, where can we find your books?
All of my books are available on Amazon, as well as they're free with Kindle Unlimited. I also have them all available, and I can ship them, autograph them, and send you a bunch of Kesh Nicole goodies if you buy them from www.keshnicole.com.
All right, goodies, Kesh Nicole goodies. Now, Brian, where can we find your books?
I'm the same. I cut out the middleman a long time ago, so you can find all the paperbacks. You get them autographed from me from my website at www.authorbrianwsmith.com, and everything as far as the ebooks can be found on Kindle. But yeah, go ahead and go to the website if you want a paperback copy of anything that I have readily available. Even if it's not showing up on the site, I can have it produced and sent to you. So go check it out, and I'll get you your book. Now, Simon & Schuster still has one of the books, Nina's Got a Secret. So you can find that one at Barnes and Nobles and stuff like that.
Okay, wonderful. All right, then. I'm looking forward to February 28th and 29th. I want to thank both of you for spending your hour with me. And I thank you for both being a part of the Black History Month Literary Weekend.
Looking forward to it.
We want you guys all to come out and be a part of this event. We are raising money for scholarships. We're going to give 2 students, an 8th grader and a 9th grader, $100 for an essay contest, for Black History Month essay contest.
Awesome.
Yes, and we are also launching the Meet the World Image Solutions Graduating Senior Scholarship. Yes, one graduating senior in New Orleans will be getting $1,000 from Meet the World Image Solutions for their college education. And it's all going to start with this Black History Month Literary Weekend.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
That is awesome. Rhonda, let me say this before we go. I just want to give you have this platform available for other people to shine.
Yes.
I just want to take a moment to thank you.
Yes.
Because I know that this isn't an easy task. We all know that we come from a city that majors in partying,
Yes.
but reading hasn't always been the top priority. So the fact that you have the guts to take on such a monumental task, I think is admirable, and I'm here for you however you need me to help.
Thank you so much, Brian. I really appreciate that. And thank you both for supporting this and seeing the vision and being a part of this. So, y'all about to make me tear up in here. But I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Don't forget, if you want more information about the Black History Month Literary Weekend, you can go to the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages, or you can go to www.mtwimagesolutions.com, and you can find the links if you're ready to purchase your tickets. The early bird sales have ended, but we do have a discount code. So make sure you, if you want to get tickets for the jazz brunch, use BHMLW as your discount code to get at least a 5% discount. That's all I can give you now.
That's it. And I'll be sharing all of the links on all of my sites as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Yes?
He said, so will I.
Oh, wonderful.
So will I.
Thank you. Now, join us next week. Next week, we will have our second music showcase. If you joined us last month, you were here when Brian Holmes performed right here in the studio, and it was awesome. Next week, we're going to have Straight Notes. If you haven't heard of Straight Notes, you're going to love them when you hear them. They are going to be our featured band at the Black History Month Literary Jazz Brunch. And so you're going to get a taste of what they can do next week right here live in the studio. So we want you to be a part of that as well. And you can even come out to the studio if you'd like to hear them in person, because we're going to have a live studio audience.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, we do things around here.
I see you, girl.
All right, so that's all we have for this week. Don't forget, if you would like to be a part of Meet the World Image Solutions, Horizons Meet the World Image Solutions, we do have a special with a partnership with Swagger Magazine. If you pay one price, you will get featured on this show, as well as get featured by Swagger Magazine. So all of that for one price. It's a great way to increase your exposure and start off your 2020 and start that 2020 vision. So we want you to be a part of that. More information, just contact us at info@mtwimagesolutions.com, or you can visit our Facebook page for more information. So that's all we have. You guys have a wonderful week. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.